Welcome back to another inspiring chapter. Let's step right into his world. They say one man once lent only $27, and the world of banking was never the same again. But who was this man? What led him from classrooms and village lanes to noble stages and global applause? The answer lies in the life of someone whose journey began in a small village in coastal Bangladesh, long before terms like microfinance or social business were ever spoken. Muhammad Yunus was born on June 28, 1940, in Hathazari, Chittagong, into a large Bengali Muslim family. He was the third of 9 children. His father, Hazi Dulamia Shudagar, was a jeweler deeply rooted in traditional craft, while his mother, Sufia Hatun, was the nurturing force who shaped the home. Childhood in the village of Bathua was simple until the family shifted to Chittagong City in 1944, setting young Yunus on a path where education became his compass. At Lema Bazaar Primary School and then Chittagong Collegiate School, brilliance marked his footsteps. When the matriculation results came, he stood 16th among some 39,000 students in East Pakistan, a feat that promised much more ahead. Yet academic texts weren't his only world. He was a dedicated Boy Scout, traversing across Pakistan, India in 1952, and Canada in 1955, glimpsing a wider world. At Chittagong College, while delving into economics, he also became a drama lover, adding colors of theater and culture to his journey. The intellectual fire grew at Dhaka University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in economics in 1960, and then his master's in 1961. Soon after, he was working as a research assistant under eminent economists Nurul Islam and Rahman Subhan. But Yunus wasn't someone who could stop at theory. Even while lecturing at Chittagong College, he invested in a packaging factory, signaling that practical innovation and entrepreneurship fueled his blood as much as lectures did. A Fulbright scholarship in 1965 carried him far from East Pakistan to the United States to Vanderbilt University. There, he immersed himself in economic research before earning his PhD in 1971. Yet history's tide reached him in ways greater than academia. That same year, while he was abroad, his homeland burned in the liberation war of Bangladesh. Yunus became more than a scholar, he became an advocate. In America, he set up the Bangladesh Information Center, launched a newsletter, and championed the cause of his struggling people. His voice carried the anguish of a nation seeking freedom. Post-independence. In 1971, Yunus briefly joined Bangladesh's Planning Commission, but bureaucracy and distant policymaking felt hollow to him. He soon returned to Chittagong University to lead the economics department, and then famine struck in 1974. Starving villagers haunted his academic lectures on economic models. Could theories explain empty stomachs? Yunus realized change must sprout in villages, not only in policy papers. With this determination, he introduced the Nabajug Tibhaga Kamar project for farmers, blending cooperation with equality. The government adopted versions of his ideas through programs like the Packaged Input Program and Gram Sarkar, but Yunus was still restless. Then came a moment that would spark a revolution. In 1976, he stepped into Yobra village near Chittagong. There, he met women making bamboo stools and stool sellers who were caught in debt traps to ruthless moneylenders. They had skill, labor, and determination, but lacked a mere handful of capital. Just a few dollars could free them, yet banks saw them only as unfit borrowers. That day, Yunus did something radical. He personally gave $27 to 42 women so they could buy bamboo without falling prey to lenders. That tiny risk, scorned by banks, planted the seed of microcredit. Soon, Yunus borrowed from Janata Bank to extend the experiment further. By 1982, his circle of borrowers grew to 28,000. The idea had become unstoppable. On October 1st, 1983, the Grameen Bank Village Bank was founded. But its banking was different. It asked for no collateral. It worked not with the wealthy but the poorest, especially women. Women, long denied opportunities, became the backbone of Grameen. Over 94% of the loans went to them. Instead of isolated borrowers, solidarity groups emerged, where members ensured each other's repayments and inspired each other's growth. Poverty wasn't an identity anymore. It was a challenge to be overturned. From fishing ponds to irrigation pumps, from farming to telecommunications, Grameen's offshoots spread rapidly. Projects like Grameen Fisheries and Grameen Agriculture reflected Yunus' vision that development must penetrate every corner of rural life. This was not charity, it was empowerment. And the world noticed. The microfinance wave rippled far beyond Bangladesh, from Africa to Latin America, even to poor communities in the United States. Yunus's model was replicated. In 2001, he was recognized as part of the Ashoka Global Academy. In 2006, the Nobel Committee crowned his work with the Peace Prize. Hand in hand with the Grameen Bank, Yunus was acknowledged for showing how empowering the marginalized could foster lasting peace. The Nobel didn't pause him. He pledged portions of his prize money towards social ventures, an eye hospital, Yunus Science and Technology University, and nutrition initiatives. Recognitions flooded: the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Gold Medal, the Ramon Magsaysay Award, the World Food Prize, and honorary doctorates from across continents. His face became once synonymous with social entrepreneurship. Fortune named him among the 12 greatest entrepreneurs of the modern era, placing a humble Bangladeshi alongside corporate giants. But his life wasn't untouched by obstacles. In 2007, he flirted with politics, attempting to launch a new reformist party, Citizens' Power, advocating clean governance. Yet he soon abandoned the path, realizing his true battlefield remained outside politics. Later, in 2011, the Bangladeshi government dismissed him from Grameen Bank, sparking protests and international concern. Yet Yunus never stopped pushing back, knowing this wasn't about one man's title, but about poor millions who had found dignity through a handful of borrowed money. Beyond Bangladesh, Yunus joined global movements. He was a founding member of the Elders, alongside figures like Nelson Mandela, aiming to guide the world toward justice. He advocated worldwide for sustainable development and sat on several key global advisory boards. His voice echoed from the UN stage to talk shows like The Daily Show and Oprah, reaching audiences far from Yobra village. Even now, Yunus remains both a dreamer and a pragmatist. He insists that poverty is not a curse, but a human-made condition that can be unmade. From bamboo stools in Yobra to Nobel halls in Oslo, his journey tells us a truth, that sometimes the smallest loan, the tiniest act of faith, can create the largest revolutions.